Hi, and welcome to another week's Tips for AI Trailblazers. I'm Kathleen Perley, your host and founder of Demystify. This week, as I mentioned earlier, we're taking our AI voice agents one step further, and I'm going to show you how you can get your AI executive assistant to give you your schedule for the day. So let's go ahead and share my screen, and I'll show you how it's done. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, where we left off last week, and if you haven't seen that video, would definitely recommend going back and watching it. We have our Demystify Executive Advisor. I'll be sure to post this in the description of the YouTube channel so you can, or YouTube video, so you can kind of copy and paste some of these. But you'll want to modify it slightly based on your role and some of the things that you're looking for from an AI executive assistant. So I have things like here, like a tone, things of that nature. So this is done in ElevenLabs. So this is what we learned last week in our AI video. Now, the main thing that you're going to shift this time is you're going to add a tool simply by selecting Add a Tool, Custom Tool. And when you do that, we're actually going to do a calendar check. So I'm going to show you, just to make, because it's easier this way, I'm going to go ahead and show you in the tool itself. So you're going to utilize a webhook. You're going to title it Calendar Check and provide a description. So use this calendar check tool to see what meeting Kathleen Perley has. And then you're going to add a parameter under query parameters. You're going to use a data type as a string request. Then you're going to utilize the LLM prompt as the value type, put in calendar schedule request. And then on the body parameters, just say confirm the dates for the schedule. Is looking to see what blocks she has for the day. Be sure to ask her days of interest if she is wanting work or personal. So I added some additional information there. Put the data type as a string, executive request, interested in understanding what's on our calendar. So we're going to go ahead and save those changes. But here you'll see this post URL, and this is what's important. You want to make sure it's set to method is set to post. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into your NAN and you're going to create a new workflow. I have this one already developed, but one of the first things that you're going to do is create a webhook. And to add a new node, just to give you an idea, you could just simply go here and then you will identify different things. So you can add a different trigger, you can do advanced AI agents from that standpoint. You also have the ability to do data transformation flow, things of that nature. So when you set up your webhook, what you'll see here is you are given a test URL and a production URL that you can kind of pivot back and forth from. The only difference here is the test. And when you do go live, you are going to want to check to make sure that you're using your production URL that you're copying over. So if you click on this and you copy and paste it into your post method here, it'll work. Shout out to Phil, who I have spent many hours trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. And he said, are you using your production URL or your test URL? And I was like, obviously the wrong one. So learn from my mistakes on that one. You're going to set your authentication to none, but you can set authentication there. And what you're also going to do is you're going to have a response be set to using webhook node. As you're going through this, you're going to want to set and have it go ahead and listen for events so you can kind of start to see the data that it's pulling in and making sure that it's working. So once you have that done, you're going to create another node, which is your AI agent node. Now on this node, you can kind of see some of the webhook data that's being pulled in. So that's why it's good to kind of have your test data in there as well. And then you have your system message. So you're an executive AI agent designed to handle various tasks efficiently. If you have multiple tasks, here are some of the ones that you can use to fulfill them. So I've identified the two different tools, availability and appointments. When a task requires one or more of these tools, make sure you identify which tool is most appropriate. So we've kind of identified that. So you build this agent in. What you're going to do is you're going to put user request : and then what you're going to do is you're just going to, let's see on here, it should be under your query. So you'll see this request here. I just dragged this over and it automatically populated when you had your expression. So we have it defined below, which is pulling in all this information. So let's go back to Canvas. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to want to make sure that we have our chat model integrated. So once you click on chat model, you would simply just add your AI model. This is really simple. You open this up, you connect it to your OpenAI account, and then you can pick from the different lists that you have here. So really simple. You can add additional options, like if you want to have timeouts and frequency penalties, things of that nature, you could do that as well. So once you have that set up with your agent, you're going to go ahead and you'll see that I have get all event and it's called check schedule. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the calendar integration. So what you'll do here is you'll connect. I already have mine connected here, but you can create a new credential if you needed to. And that'll just go through your Google Calendar. You can have the tool description set to automatically. You want to go to, for resources, you can get calendar or event. On this one, we're going to want to do an event. And you're wanting to get many. So you're wanting as many events as you can from that day. You can have a limit set. I typically don't have more than 20 events on my calendar in a day, or at least I try not to, but you can automate that or adjust that. And then you will just set everything to the AI to define the kind of before and end date, because it'll be coming in from the query from that standpoint. So once this is all running, right, so you'll see that you're able to kind of look at all this together, then you'll be able to go to your webhook. And this is really simple. All you're going to do is you're going to use all incoming items as the output that will go back to your voice agent in ElevenLabs. So I'm going to show you this and how it works. So the other thing I would definitely recommend is you can test the workflow. So it will actually fire all the different elements utilizing dummy data that you have in the model from historical, and it will verify if every single piece of the puzzle works. So one of the things I do like about N8N is you can identify that it is sending one item to the AI agent. The AI agent is then using the OpenAI model to understand what the request that's coming in. Then it is going to my Google Calendar to identify what events they are, going back to the OpenAI model to help synthesize that, and then pushing it all the way back to the ElevenLabs. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how this works in real time. So let's go back to my ElevenLabs agent. And one thing to note is when you're in your ElevenLabs agent, try to make sure that you're using the share agent link. I have found if you use the test link that sometimes the ElevenLabs voice agent is not as successful. So let's go ahead and give this a whirl. So this is my AI agent, my executive agent, that is helping me with all of the things that I asked for. So
hi there, I am Scout, your executive advisor. What can I help with?
yeah, I was wondering if you could tell me what is on my calendar for tomorrow, April 24th?
You have no meetings scheduled for tomorrow, April 24th. Is there anything else you would like to explore or plan for the day?
Can you actually double check to make sure April 24th, 2025, I don't have any meetings?
On April 24th, 2025, your calendar includes the following meetings. 1. Daily, to-do stand-up from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. 2. UGAI course from 10:50 a.m. to 12:05 p.m.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. It actually ended the call because it gave me my info and I have given the agent that permission. So this is a great way to utilize AI voice agents. I would definitely recommend, if you're not familiar with N8N, to start getting yourself familiar. It is probably one of my favorite AI agent building tools. I was historically leveraging Zapier. This is Zapier on steroids, if you will. And hope that you found this helpful. And stay tuned for more tips from Demystify.